Greetings and welcome everybody back to another segment of Logitech Gaming. So today, guys, we're going to be going over a game that I've heard about for a while. Just haven't had time to get around to covering it. And it's going to be a different video today. No gameplay, just me doing some ranting. Talking about this new game called Fellowship from this game company called Chief Rebel. This is what is known as a ARPG, MOBA, MMO, something like that. It's dealing with that kind of thing. So I wanted to go over this for a little bit and everything and get into some other details and everything about this game, which I find quite kind of odd. Okay, and this has to do with masculinity in games, has to do with the woke rhetoric that's been going on in games and everything like this, and it's stuff like this that turns me off to certain games like this. And I know people don't like to hear this a lot, but it's just the truth, and it's what has to be talked about. Okay, so I'm sorry for all the flashy graphics in the back for coming here, but this is PC games. That's I'm not sure how reputable this company is. I haven't seen many other people talking about this, so I try to find the best article I could. But we're going to go over some information right now. So Fellowship is the Fellowship finally takes the grind out of the in-game content. Fellowship is the first foray into a multiplayer online dungeon adventure genre, combining elements from MMOs, MOBAs, and ARPGs. Now, this is written by Sherry Faulkner, and this was done like 9 days ago. So do you enjoy the thrill of in-game dungeon content, but hate the hundreds of hours it takes to get there into the PC exclusive Fellowship, a new multiplayer online dungeon adventure, MOBA? Okay, who that hopes to combine the best aspects of a MOBA and RPGs and MMOs for all the fun of the looting, strategizing, and cooperative play without the arduous grind. Okay, now when we go further in this article, I've read through this article already just to kind of get just what was going on, and just it's it's basically your common fare what you hear. So they say Fellowship is a brainchild of Stockholm-based studio Chief Rebel Games, but developer from the likes of Helldivers, Just Cause, Diablo, World of Warcraft, The Division, and most of the best PC games have come together to create a brand new gaming experience. You know, that right there, I've heard this a lot from these a lot of developers, that these indie developers that come out with this statement right here. Oh man, we got these people running the industry, man, industry veterans, man. They're gonna make it slamming. You know, the Axelot has that on their website. Okay, they got the best people working on it. They on it all 24/7. They on it when they talk about it. But you don't see the results based off of what they're talking about. You see what I'm saying? If these guys are so skilled and everything, then your game wouldn't have the problems that it had. Okay, now I'm not saying this game is, but this is what I'm talking about when you hear this kind of talk about this. I don't give a damn about that. Okay, so this is the problem. All right. In a recent hands-on preview, I spoke with the CEO and game director Alex Lindberg, designer and director Breton Hamilton, and community director Hamish Bode, as we formed a team of heroes to take on Fellowship range of content together. All right. That person says that from the outset she was hooked. Oh, of course. See, that's from the outset you were. Of course you were. Okay, you hadn't even started playing for even 5 seconds. So I'm hooked. While Fellowship's roster of heroes is limited in its early alpha stage, I'm already impressed by their diversity. And see, right then and there, when I hear this word, see, I'll explain something to y'all, man. I'm 49. I've been around for a minute. Okay. When I was coming up, the word woke, W-O-K-E, was actually a positive thing. It actually meant that you were actually somebody, a man, lady, child, whoever, how young, didn't matter how young you were, your age differential. It just depended on your knowledge level. Were you up on the game at the time, particularly at the time I was coming up when there was no internet. Okay, you actually had to go to the fucking library, you know what I'm saying, or actually go buy a book and read the data. You see what I'm saying? So now it's diversity. What does that mean? See, when I was coming up, woke meant that you were on top of your game. Diversity actually had a meaning. Okay, it's thrown around so much today that it actually has, just like the word racist, it actually has absolutely no more context anymore because it's been used in such a manner that it has no more meaning. So this word diversity, anytime I hear this word, and time gamers hear this word, it automatically sends off bells of DISCG wokeness. Okay, So launching with 6 options, the roster will expand to include heroes of all motivations, origins, personalities, and abilities when the full releases rolls around. During the alpha, though, there are only 2 tanks, 2 DPS characters, and 2 healers to choose from, also known as the MMO Holy Trinity. Okay. All right. So now this particular paragraph is what gets me right here. Now listen, I'm an artist as well, man. I draw comic books. I do designs for illustrations. I do logos, and I'm also an inventor. I have a couple of patents and everything I'm working on. So it's I understand art can be done by anybody. Okay. However, I like to play and draw female characters. But this doesn't mean that I want everything to be female centric. This particular paragraph right here is just particularly female centric. I hear nothing in here that has any kind of testosterone in it. So Helena is a war master and takes on the tank role. She has a unique mechanic called toughness, which reduces the damage she takes during combat. Now people are gonna say, well, man, you know, Logic, you know, they got female tanks in Warcraft, and true, it's understandable. Okay. But they lead off with a female tank. Okay, I'm getting to. Trust me, this coming to segue. Just don't you worry. All right, because what I'm saying here is going to make a lot of sense when I go into the second part of this discussion. All right, so these buff stats attacks grant access to unique finishing moves. Vigor is a healer that I don't see in action during my playthrough, but when he uses offensive abilities, he can trigger unique buffs that can reduce the amount of mana needed for spells or the length of time it takes to cast them and stuff like that. Okay, Sylvie is a really interesting healer who leaves behind followers that I can step on and heal myself, or flutterflies that follow teammates and everything. Ardios is a fire mage, a ranged spellcaster which engulfs his enemies in flames, and he has access to embers, which can also be collected and cast and detonate and all that stuff. So he chooses Rhyme. She's a ranger character. Now, I like to play with female characters. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but again, it's this theme. She, all the way. Nothing wrong with that, but just needs to be a balance. Okay, she's a ranged caster who uses ice to damage shippers. Now, can you choose? Is there another caster that's a male? Do you have a female? Like the game I just got finished covering. Okay, Core Punk. In Core Punk, you got a female and male version of each of the classes. Okay, are they going to have this here? Oh, is only Helena, is she only the female tank you can play with? You see, that question needs to be answered. The author here didn't seem to answer that. So she chose Rhyme, though. She's a rain caster who uses ice damage to foes. As she uses her basic abilities, a bar fills up to grant winter orbs that I can use to use for more powerful abilities and stuff like that, spell power. The main reason I choose her, though, is because her character design is incredibly cool, pun intended. She's decked out in fur-lined outfits and stuff like that. Okay, blah, 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 blah. She's a far cry from Audio's bulky armored appearance or Sylvia's woodland creatures inspired aesthetics. Immediately I fall in love with. Oh, okay, immediately. Okay, definitely. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. So I got characters and stuff that I see. I'm like, man, that character's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not exactly like, oh my God, I just got to go give him a hug and a kiss. So when I was chosen, our characters would launch into the stronghold. The Fellowship's base operations, the hub zone is somewhat of a homely environment where target dominates for practicing characters' abilities, a mission table for selecting dungeon adventures, a blacksmith for forging equipment, and more. It feels bare in its pre-alpha state. It's because Chief Rebel intends to be a social nexus where players can gather in their parties or chat and solo adventures and all this other stuff and everything. Okay, pretty much a social hub like any MMO would be. Okay. As we head to the mission table, Bowles explains that we first attempted to do a quick play dungeon. This is a 15-minute experience in a non-competitive setting with only objectives being to slaughter as many enemies as you can and fill up a kill score bar. Okay, when this reaches 100%, we can forge forward to defeat the dungeon boss. Then Limburg explains that these quick play dungeons known as adventures take inspiration from ARPGs, providing players with a quick blitz style content. Okay. We head through relatively unscathed, and the team do a great job of explaining Ron's various attacks to me while preventing me from near certain death and all this other stuff. Okay, all right. She must don't play a lot of MMOs or something like that and everything like that. The synchronicity of a team, all like this will come in a time and experience, but it's clear that I don't actually need much about that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, all right. So now, basically nothing going on right there. She's just basically talking about her player experience and everything. Now I say, Now, when the game launches in alpha playtest, you will be able to have the opportunity to quickly matchmake for these shorter dungeons. You'll be able to find players that complement your existing team's composition, and you'll find your ideal role in group soloist. Each boss has unique mechanics and abilities, and the chief rebel team is super helpful in calling out incoming attacks while advising where to stand and take the least damage. After the boss has failed, which takes up perhaps 2 to 3 minutes, we are rewarded with a chest that drops loot. Okay, all right. Head back to the stronghold, you do your stuff, you check your loot, you talk to your friends, check out how cool you are, you know what I'm saying, the normal stuff you do in MMO and all that stuff like that, ARPG. This aims to encourage players to stick together and work cooperatively instead of running off on internal side quests to get stronger gear like an annoying little magpie. Okay, you see, there we go. This language right here. Now, I don't know if this is the language of the author, or is this the language of the CEOs of the game developers. But just listen to this. This aims to encourage players to stick together and work cooperatively instead of running off on internal side quests to get stronger gear like an annoying little magpie. Definitely not something I'd ever be guilty of. Okay. The gear I earn improves various stats and introduces new abilities or new attributes, meaning some pieces might get better for specific dungeons. Of course, the visual aesthetics is important too, and I'm pleased to see that ROM now supports as much more striking set of shoulder armor that's added a bonus increase. Okay, you didn't talk about the rest of the game. Okay, all right. With my new gear equipped, the treatments and all this other stuff, all right, because she just basically rambling about how much she loved the game, and she didn't talk about any of the problems, anything that she might have saw from the beginning, even though it's an alpha, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Rank dungeons come in additional sentience and curses and modifiers and stuff like that. We know about the modifiers. Games like Wayfinder and some games like what's that game? No Rest for the Wicked has that with the Crucible and stuff like that. So yeah, some of these could include molten fireballs raining from the sky and stuff like that. And more of these, you know, these are ranked. Okay, everybody knows it. Okay, so she asked Lindbergh what inspired the team to remove one of the most frustrating elements of MOBAs and MMOs to give player access to in-game content from the outset. We were playing a bunch of MMOs or MOBAs together, like League of Legends and Dota 2, and having a blast. We love that. But after our sessions, we would hang out and think, this is such fun. The mechanics are cool, but we wish we could play this in a PvE style adventure. A PvE MOBA should exist, he explains. We need, okay, nothing wrong with that. That's fine. Okay. But see, your language behind that, about just you look like a magpie. You know what I'm saying? That's an insult to players that are done out there. I understand you might be trying to make a joke, but it's the language you're using. You see what I'm saying? So basically, Chief Rebel is looking to integrate more features as they are raised in narrative storylines, but are urging anyone with the passing interest in MMOs, MOBAs, and ARPGs to try out the game. Okay. The game has an open alpha August 15th between August 15th and August 20th, and you can sign up on the Fellowship website. Now, let's go take a look at the Steam page that's already up for the Fellowship game. Okay, so here it is right here. We're on the Steam page right now. I'm up on the browser right now for it, so we can still view it here. Pardon me, guys. And so we can read about what's going on now. I'm not gonna say the game looks good. The graphics looks nice and everything. The gameplay overall looks pretty decent. But let's go check out the video up here and see what they got to say about it. So we started an interview with the interview of Dev Diary Fellowship announcement trailer. All right, guys, listen to this thing.
We're very excited to finally get to show Fellowship to the world, a game that we've been working on for a long time. A few years ago, we founded Chief Rebel, an independent studio located in Stockholm, Sweden. We've put together an incredible experienced team that have worked on games like Diablo, the Just Cause series, Battlefield, Helldivers, The Division, World of Warcraft, and a bunch of other huge titles over the years. Here in the studio, we like to call Fellowship a multiplayer online dungeon adventure, a MOBA, if you will. It's a game that celebrates our favorite endgame activity, where you will gather a bunch of friends in a group of 4 and go out and do dungeons together. And these dungeons are going to be full of enemies with their own unique abilities and tricks and strategies that you need to figure out. And of course, bosses providing their own unique challenges that you will need to work together with your team to overcome. And when you do, there's loot to be had. With Fellowship, We are taking inspiration from a number of types of games that we love. So there's a bit of action RPG in here, there's a bit of MOBA, and there's a bit of MMO as well. You can jump into the endgame content straight away, and you don't have to spend hours and hours grinding just to get to the fun stuff. When you first log in, you will pick your hero, join up with your friends or find a group, and queue into a dungeon. As you level up, you'll also unlock new talents, set bonuses, and relics that provide new facets.
Okay, so I just want to pause right quick, man. I just want to ask this: what is such the hurry? With gaming this day? Why is everybody want to get shit done like right now? You want to play the game? You want an MMO to come out? You want to beat it that day? Well, I don't understand. You want to go straight to the end game content? I just don't understand this, man. You know what I'm saying? What happened to the fun of exploring, experimenting, and everything? That was one of the things that made World of Warcraft, and particularly World of Warcraft, such an amazing experience. You know, and as soon as they started catering to a wider audience, that's when the hardcore players just got put to the side. The World of Warcraft had a I wouldn't say it was exclusive, but it had a community that was into the grind. They understood how hard, and they appreciated how hard the game was to get to this stuff, and they appreciated what it took to get to level 60. Then they started catering to a wider audience. This is not a problem in and itself, but when you negate your core audience that made the game what it was, then that's when it becomes a problem. And you get stuff like this where, you know what I'm saying, it looks nice, but it's like everything is always in a hurry. I want to get to the top content like right now. What if Nintendo made Mario games like that? But you can skip right to the end of Bowser right then and there. That wouldn't be any fun at all, from having to go through all the little small worlds and everything, and then maybe you can skip a couple worlds to get to that. But normally you got to go through something. You know, I understand what these guys are saying, that, you know, some people don't like arduous thing. Okay, then that's not the game for you. Then find another game to play that's maybe in that genre but doesn't have that, you know what I'm saying, something like this. But it's just the way this is being presented, like, oh my God, man, it's just such a pain just to go out there and collect, you know, wood or stuff or a thing like that. That's the whole point of an MMO, is the question and learning the story and all that, man. What the hell?
And depth to your chosen hero. As you complete dungeons, you gain access to higher difficulties. As the difficulty increases, the enemies become a lot harder, and the rewards you receive become more powerful. The core of Fellowship is this endgame MMO-style dungeon experience. You can jump straight from dungeon to dungeon, and you will get all the progression, rewards, and everything that you need from within that content. There are two types of dungeons that players will take on: Adventure and Ranked.
Adventure dungeons are doing everything we know and love from our ranked dungeon format, but we want to take that experience and distill it down to 10 to 15 minute bite-sized experiences. Ranked dungeons is what this genre offers best.
What in the hell? You see, this is what I'm talking about right then and there. See, I'm done. I'm already finished. What the hell is this? What the hell is that? Hey, bruh, listen to me, man. What is going on? This is what I'm talking about. See, I've already seen this. So I wanted to get here just so I can make this reaction, because when I had the same reaction. I wanted to replicate it for you guys. What the hell is going on here? Listen, man. When I was coming up, I know people don't have to hear this. I was raised around gay people, knew gay folk, and everything. But at the time I was coming up, there were a couple of gay people that ran around in drag and everything. But when they went to work, when they had stuff to do, they didn't dress like this. Okay? This is being shown to children. You know what I'm saying? Young boys, young girls, they want young boys and young children to come play this game as well. And you got a man sitting up here in a dress with fingernail polish on, dangling earrings. Now I got earrings. I got two small studs. Most guys could do that. Okay? But we don't run around with fucking loops in our motherfucking ears and stuff like that. What is going on here? Full beard with a dress on. At a company telling you to come buy his game, Mr. Brenton Hamilton. Unbelievable. This is what I'm talking about, man. So this already right here turns me off. It turned me off when I first saw it. And I wanted you guys to see what I was talking about. And this is how it segues to the article I just read. Of course, the article had all that crap in it about diversity. She's a man in arms. She's a tank. Okay, she's the best in the game. Okay, she's the best mate. You know what I'm saying? Why? Look who we got running the game. Now this guy might actually be a great creative. The problem is he's running around in a fucking dress. Why does this need to be? It doesn't need to be. It's being forced on you so it can be a normal thing. Okay? It just absolutely makes no sense. This could turn out to be a great game. But then now, see, I don't want to mess with it because I don't know if you've been dealing with Sweet Baby. You know what I'm saying? Or any of these other woke DEI companies that want to put this crap in these games. I don't Flintlock and all this other crap. Nobody wants to see this mess. What is going on? I really want to skip this, man, but I want y'all to hear it. Give y'all the courtesy of letting you listen to it.
This is our opportunity to provide a core experience to our seasoned veterans of this genre, to compete against each other on our leaderboards, to overcome impossible odds with their friends, and to really make their mark on the community. The greatest rewards in Fellowship come to the players who are willing to opt in to the most challenging content. That means specifically choosing to, with your party, take on multiple dungeon modifiers at a time. In addition to the standard scaling of our dungeons, we also want to make sure that there are these added layers that don't just change the numbers of, I gotta pause, man.
I just gotta pause because we saw earlier in the video where he was sitting by. Imagine having to sit by this guy and have to work with him. I just couldn't do it, man. I just could not get my head around. I'm sorry, bro. Now, if you didn't have the dress on and the nail polish and the earrings and the fucking mascara and all this other stuff, I would be okay. Okay? I honestly thought I was listening to a woman before they showed his face when I first listened to this video. I really thought I was. And that's not all.
Now, I need to move out of the way as a giant fireball rains from the sky. Or now freezing winds are blowing everybody off towards the edge of the map. Things that change gameplay. When players enter a dungeon, they've got 3 goals to keep in mind. 1, they gotta kill all the bosses.
Let me ask you something. If this guy was in the game, would you want him fighting beside you? Man, hell no. I wouldn't want this guy fighting beside me. He got a dress on, nail polish, gold, whatever he got on. I wouldn't want this guy fighting against me with these creatures. Think about that.
Then, they have to make sure that the kill score is absolutely filled by killing enough of the enemies in the dungeon. And then lastly, they need to make sure that we're doing all of that in the allotted time. So for our ranked dungeons, that's about 30 minutes. And for our adventure dungeons, we're looking at 10 minutes. The enemies in Fellowship are challenging. And that means that players are going to have to rely on the Holy Trinity, tank, healer, and DPS in order to overcome these challenges. Each role is necessary to succeed, with each having a distinct role to play.
So when we created our roster of heroes, it was really important that each hero feels unique to Fellowship, while still being recognizable for people that have played thousands of hours in similar games. So we've got this one hero called Rhyme, and she's got this very bursty and procky rhythm to her gameplay. She's not very cooldown reliant at all. Instead, she has a very steady build up to constant payoffs that will feel really explosive and flashy. With Warmaster, you've got a tank that should feel like home, and it's super easy to pick up. She also has a toughness mechanic where more advanced players will be able to min-max their damage mitigation and cooldown reduction.
I hate that word.
Fellowship is going to be a
Oh my God. Listen. I guarantee everybody that was listening just now, before they saw this photo, the video come up, y'all thought this was a woman. Tell me you didn't. Tell me that you did not think this was a woman speaking. There's absolutely no masculinity at this company at all, period. Where are the men in the world? Where are the men at? Huh? What is going on here, man? And like I said, this probably might be a great game. But see, I don't want to mess with it now because I'm looking at this. Now, I guarantee you, there's probably games that I play that got these kind of people that work with these companies. But guess what? I ain't seen them. And if I don't want to see them. Okay? If they're running around like that, I definitely don't want to see them. Okay? At least this guy sound like a female, but he dressed like a man. I could sit and work with him at least. The other guy, I couldn't do it, man. And I tell you, if the other guy was in the game for real, like a character to play, man, I would definitely not want to go fight these monsters with that dude. Nail polish and stuff on.
Adventure that will be built to last for a really long time, and we're so excited to have the players be part of that development journey with us. We've got heaps of content planned for Fellowship, and there's going to be a lot more to talk about really, really soon. But to start your adventure with Fellowship, make sure to sign up for our closed alpha, starting really soon.
Okay, bro. All right, that's enough of that, man. All right, that's enough. So we're gonna pause that right there, man. I just want to give y'all a just an overview of what that was going on about, man. And here's a website. I got a website right here, Chief Rebel. Here now. Here's a game designer. So I'm not sure if the other people that was in this video where we just saw not on. I don't see them on the site at all. Okay. Now, just to let you know, I haven't seen any evidence of Sweet Baby Inc., DEI type stuff like that just as yet, except for what I just shown. So I'm just making this claim right now because I want to put this out here. And I'm sorry if people get upset about it. This is what it is. It deserves to be criticized because this is ridiculous. Okay, this is we got children out here looking at this stuff. We got men running around with dresses, you know what I'm saying, promoting video games, you know what I'm saying, the young children and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It just should have an 18 on it, rating on it when people go in the queue, so the child can know that just because of this dude in there. Seriously, because this dude's running around in a dress. Okay, so you guys want to check this game out, man? It's called Fellowship. It's made by a company called Chief Rebel. Here's their website, chiefrebel.com. You guys want to visit their Steam page. Here's the Steam page right here. Right now I'm up on the browser, not in the actual Steam. So that's just what it is, man. So anyway, man, you guys take care. Stay easy, man, and just keep gaming, man. And just look, stick up for games, man. We got to make sure that we getting the correct play experience, and we ain't got people shoving this crap down our throats. I'm tired of it. I know a lot of other people are tired of it, man, and it just needs to stop. Nobody has any kind of animosity towards the LGBTQ plus or whatever community. Nobody has that. The problem I got is, like Nick Merck said, leave children alone. Leave the children out of it. And this right here would say, well, logic and nothing going on with the children. Yes, it is. Young children are on this platform constantly. Okay, constantly. I seen a bunch of R-rated, X-rated stuff on Steam. It's unbelievable. That's been fed through my queue. I don't want to see that crap. You know what I'm saying? And so this right here should have some kind of rating on it where the child needs to, because of this guy. So honestly, parents need to start kicking back, and gamers need to start kicking back on this crap, man. Anyway, much love to y'all guys, man. Y'all stay easy. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.